guys, it's Claris. Welcome back to my channel. So you guys seem to really like my last dipping powder nail art design video, so I have another one planned out for you today. So let's dive right into the tutorial. So to begin, I'm going to peel off these nails I did here, and these were from a Polish of the Week episode. You can see that video here if you're interested in watching me swatch a polish. So after removing these, I'm just going to clean up anything left on the nail, and then I'm going to apply a new coat of my DIY peel off base coat. I have a video on my channel of that here. And I am going to be using this under the dipping powder nails. It definitely helps in the removal. The only downside is they start lifting a bit earlier than you would want, but it does work, so I've had success using that. Now next, I'm going to apply rich filling base coat to all the nails except the two ones that we're doing the dip powder nails on. Alright, now that that's all taken care of, let's start with the colors. Now pink is a theme in this mani, so we're going to paint the thumb and the ring finger a light pink, and I'm using this SE polish called Minimalistic. So just go ahead and apply your first coat of that. Now let's start on the dip powder nails. I'm going to be using this holographic dipping powder by Born Pretty. It can be used for lots of different things, and dip powder is one of them. And I've used this several times, and I like it. It's not really all that holographic by the time the nail is finished, but that's alright, I'm fine with that. So I'm applying one thin coat of the dip powder base. And if you do get any of this on your skin, make sure to clean that off before dipping into the powder. And after that, quickly dip it into the powder. And since my nails are kind of long, I'm going to do it kind of upside down like this. And that's the only way I can get them to fit. Okay, so if you have a little bit of patchiness like I do, that's fine. We're going to do a second coat. So what you're going to want to do is set a 2-minute timer. But in the meantime, we can start on the other nail. Alright, perfect. Now I'm going to use this handy little fan brush I got from Twinkle Tea. And you're just going to use that to brush off the powder from around the nail and also any excess powder that did not stick from on top of the nail. And you're going to do the same thing for the pinky. Yeah, this stuff gets kind of messy. Okay, so let's do the second coat. I'm just applying another coat of that base and then dipping into the powder. I really should get a bigger container, shouldn't I? So next up, we're going to use the activator. And this is labeled number 2. And what this will do is harden the layers of dip powder together. And if you don't do this step, they will not dry. So this is important. And then let that dry for another 2 minutes. And as needed, go back to the pink nails to do another coat. I know we're skipping around a lot from nail to nail, so please bear with me. Now for the middle nail, I'm going to do a black and white marble effect. So for that, you're going to paint the nail a base color of white. And this nail polish is very thick and old, but it is a really great polish. So I'm just using up every little bit. So back to the dip powder nails, I'm actually going to throw on a gel top coat. And this is because the Born Pretty one is not as glossy as I would like. And this gel top coat worked great for me before, so that's what I'm going to use here. So I'm just applying that to the 2 nails and then curing. And since we're doing top coats, you can go top coat the 2 pink nails if those are dry. But now let's work on the marble nail. So for that, you're going to need a black and a white nail polish. And I specifically chose my black and white that are not very opaque. These are from the dollar store. They are still pretty good, they're just not opaque in one coat, that kind. So this will allow me to play around with the colors a little bit more, not worry about them being too intense. And you will also need a little bit of pink for this nail as well. Oh, and you're also going to need a thin brush like this. I got this one from Born Pretty. So you're going to put down a dot of white nail polish and a dot of black nail polish. And I'm just going to use the brush and pick up a little bit of the black polish and then kind of swirl that together with the white one, kind of like this. And then you're going to use that to just apply kind of streaky, wavy lines of the marble. And marble nails, there's no real exact way to do it. I mean, there's so many cool patterns you can do. But anyways, just play around with it. I did do a practice nail before doing this, so I got kind of a feel to what it's all about. But what's cool is you can mix the gray, the black and the white and make kind of a gray, and then you can have all different kinds of colors going on. Anyways, you don't want to go too overboard. What I'm going to just do is add a little bit of pretty much the plain white polish along the edges to kind of soften up the colors. And you don't want it to look too harsh, so definitely go in with some of that white polish and just soften everything up. However, you do want it to look very dimensional, so a great way to do that is to wipe basically everything off your brush and then just take up some black nail polish, and you can use that to kind of go along the edges and just highlight some of the main parts of the marble that you want to. In this way you have gray, white, and black, and you just have a good variety. But once you are happy with how the marble looks, you can add another color in, and I'm going to use pink since that's the other color theme we're having going on here. And you do not want to go overboard, you just want to take a little bit, and what's great is that this polish is pretty sheer, it's not too sharp or anything, and I'm just going to use it and just add little touches of pink around the nail. And you'll be surprised at how cool this makes it look. Isn't that something? That's just so cool. It's hardly there, you know, you can hardly tell it's there, but it does do something. It's amazing. And finally, to rehydrate the nails, I'm going to use my little cleanup brush here. I like doing it this way, to put some oil on and then use that to apply it around the nails. That way I don't get totally covered in oil. And then I'm going to very gently rub that in, because the top coats are all still rather fresh, so I don't want to dent any of them. So here is the finished mani. I think it is super cute. Let me know in the comments if you think you're going to give this a try. Well, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'd appreciate it if you give this video a like if you enjoyed this design. But I haven't done gel nails in a while, so I think it would be fun to try out this ASP Make It Peelable base coat, specifically for turning gel polish into a peelable gel polish. So I'm really curious to see how well this would work, so I'm going to give this a try in my next video. I do have links in my description for most of the products that I bought online if you're interested in checking them out, like the Born Pretty dipping powder and other things. I do have other related videos in my description that I may have mentioned in this video. And remember that a smile is the prettiest thing you can wear. So I hope to see you in my next video, and thank you again so much for hanging out with me. I really appreciate your time, and have a magical day.